Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, Pig. Kicking it. Today we talking about Eric Dyson. I'm trying to make this one of my short, sweet ones. The story comes from Black Detour. I told y'all to fuck with Black Detour on the fucking Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, but I still fuck with Black Detour. I still find their stories and fuck with them. And this particular story, good old Eric Dyson. Let me pull it up here. Let me get a vision for what he about. There you go. He right there. There you go. Sipping on this COONED. You see that, y'all? Y'all see what I did there, right? Eric Dyson said earlier this week, few days ago, that his 6-year-old grandson, Maxim, was called the N-word at Horace Mann Elementary School in Washington, D.C. The Georgetown University professor and author revealed the person threatened to shoot his grandson. The alleged student, I like how Black Detour writes this shit. The alleged student, this is a black-owned publication, is a white first grader who also attends the school as Maxim does. The boy made the comments after he and Dyson's grandson raced to the front of the school cafeteria line to be the first in line for some pizza, according to Fox 5 DC. I guess y'all out there in DC, I guess y'all know what that is. Let me go to my Chizat. What up, Kitty Townsend? Out to H-Town and shit. What's happening? What's good, Nisha LA? Good to see you back in the mix, Miss Lady. Swinging the Excalibur for the sake of this Chizat and handling things. Oh, why is this coon crying? I thought he was a friend of the KBs. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get on to that. We're gonna get on to that, Miss Niche. That's what I'm here for. So, Dyson said the incident is an example of how embedded white supremacy is in the United States. And he goes on to say, unfortunately, this represents for us the deep and abiding roots of white supremacy that are set loose in this country. How can a 6-year-old kid know to call his classmate the N-word? Dyson explained that after he went to the school in the affluent, mostly white neighborhood with his wife and Maxim's father, they were surprised that the first grader was not sent home. The kid finished out the day at school, which is incredible to me, Dyson said. Spokesperson for the district says the child was given a talking to by the principal. And after the incident, school officials are now determining an appropriate discipline and scheduling a meeting with the child's grandparents. Dyson says he hopes to meet with the child's parents as well. So, I see the man Zaire in the chat. Oh, now he offended. Yeah, that's what I'm about to jump on. So, with that, I'm going to say this. Eric Dyson, you big dummy motherfucker in my Sanford and Son boys, goddammit. Y'all may remember, Eric Dyson came out defending Bill Maher. Y'all remember Bill Maher on his little HBO show, Real Time with Big Maher? He was catching fire after saying, I'm a field nigger on his show. You remember that? This was in 2017. A guy by the name of Ben Sassis. He was a guy that he was a senator at the time, or he was running for senator. I forget which one. But he was on his show like, hey, Bill Maher, you need to come out and just be in the field. You need to get out in the field with us and see what we're doing. Get out in the field, right? Yeah, I'm saying he said I'm a field nigga. He said he a house nigga. I see my mind is in the field. The dude said I'm a house nigga, not I'm a field nigga. So that was what the point of debate was about and what this whole controversy stemmed from. The dude Ben Sassis was like, man, why don't you come out in the field, man? Fuck with us in the field, man. Where we at? You know what I mean? Well, he ain't say like that, but goddamn, that's how I think. But he's like, the feel, me, I'm a house nigger. Like that, right? So that's what he kicking. So let me just say this first about white people using the word feel nigger casually, or house nigga, or whatever, and trying to frame it as a joke. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about them using that term and trying to frame it as a joke when they use the word and try to write it off as a joke. Know that when they use it and try to make light of it and try to jokeify the shit, the fact that they got it to a joke, that joke comes from their history of them actually using it non-jokingly so motherfucking much that they refined it down to a joke. Y'all get what I'm saying? They use it in a real fucked up way so much that it's now a joke. Once they feel that they're comfortable enough to present it, especially publicly, as a joke, they've already been using it in a fucked up way, and the bullshit is still underneath. The bullshit, the sting of the word and the term is still underneath, right? It's still an insult. It's still sitting there under the surface. They just have wore it down. And I'm sure Bill Maher, goddamn, I'm sure he's been at meetings with the motherfucking HBO staff or whatever. These are the same people that did the whole Mike Jackson shit. I'm sure that he sat at some of these meetings with these HBO people and was like, yeah, these are my field niggers here, and these are my house niggers. I'm sure he'd be talking that type of shit all flippantly around motherfuckers at HBO. I'm sure that's what the fuck they got going on at HBO. So Michael Eric Dyson, he think because house nigga, let me get a picture of him. There go him in his house with his people. I guess that's his wife and his kids or whatever. There you go, chilling. All right. He think because house nigga is delivered with a fucking smile that it's not meant as an insult. And I say no. We gotta press they funky behinds behind that shit. That, in any case, if you're around white people that say field nigga or house nigga or whatever manifestation of it, it's a psychology that they're putting in play around your black ass. It's a psychology in play. When you're talking about white supremacist society, it's a power play, and they want to see if you're going to check them for it, if you're going to tap their chin for that shit. All right? It's a way for them to peacock strut their power, to insult you without consequences around this bitch. Understand? And we got to stand on their head about the shit. On my channel, we going to stand on their motherfucking head about the shit. I don't give a good goddamn. You know, you think about the word bitch. I'll give you another example, like the word bitch. You know, since I was on my sugar-free marathon and shit, doing my sugar-free marathon last night, man, you know, think about like in the 70s, like the term bitch, right? Like how it's used today, it's used pretty lightly. It's used with some levity and all of that shit. But in the 70s, I wasn't alive in the 70s, but I've seen enough movies and shit from that time period. I kind of know what's up. I got enough OGs that's lived through that shit. I know what's up. You know, you call a woman a bitch back then, it was like, yo, you was chastising a woman. Like she did something bad. You know what I mean? Like for her to be suited with that label. Right? Then over time, the shit became refined down to a joke. You see what I'm saying? But it's still the bullshit underneath. Like, bitch is not a scientifically accurate name for a woman, right? There's still some sting of denigration there or whatever. So like I said, Michael Eric Dyson, pull up more pictures of this boy. Hold on, let me flipping these screens and shit. We're gonna put up a picture of him and his people real quick. You know what I mean? Get him up there. So Mike Eric Dyson came out running defense for Bill Maher, trying to win the damn PR game for Bill Maher over that shit. Talking about, he didn't mean nothing by it. Massa ain't means to us black folk, knowing that if Bill Maher got word that Michael Eric Dyson said some shit like, oh, I'm a house kike, because you know Bill Maher is what they call a white Jewish person. If Mike Eric Dyson, if there was even a whiff of that word getting out there that he said, I'm a house kike, and Bill Maher got word of it, he wouldn't be caping for his ass, and Mike Eric Dyson wouldn't be selling another book. He wouldn't be talking on no other platforms, and Bill Maher would not be laying it on thick for his ass, talking about what the fuck he talking about. Like, he was like, oh, he's used his platform to give black people a voice. He's sounding real Sambo, real slavey like. You know, if y'all remember that, you know, stream of media that came out after that, he was like, man, oh, he's really giving black people a voice and a platform where we wouldn't have a voice otherwise. Really talking like Bill Maher is like the fucking gatekeeper to some real shit going on. Like, man, motherfucker, don't you know it's other ways to get media, motherfucker? Bill Maher ain't some motherfucking savior. I mean, talking all this shit, right? And I think the very next episode after that, there I'll go in the chat. The very next episode, they had a guy named Al Franken. Al Franken is another senator. He's out of Minnesota. He was a senator. I'm not sure if he's still one now. But they had him scheduled to be on the show because Bill Maher would switch out different guests on his show or whatever. Had him scheduled to be on the show. Al Franken was like, man, I don't want to come to the show really after this shit. You done got the block hot with this shit, Bill Maher, or whatever. So he ain't want to be on the show. Then guess who he invites on? Michael Eric Dyson to replace him for that episode. I'm not too sure if he's been, you know, I don't follow Mike Eric Dyson work. I don't appreciate what he does, so I don't follow his work. But I check him out when he's on certain things. But I ain't bought none of his books. I ain't from the front like I have read all of his books. I haven't read his book, Holla If You Hear Me. The shit about Tupac, I don't appreciate what he says about Tupac. I don't take him as a motherfucker to go to, talking about Tupac type shit. I mean, it's like, no, I don't put him in that category of motherfuckers to really sniff after and seek after. But he got some biscuits, goddammit. He got his motherfucking lapdog treats for having came to Bill Maher's aid. So he's just loving it, lapping up his little lapdog treats for the sake of fucking with Bill Maher. He got his little job, his little 15 minutes of show or whatever. I bet that just soothed his little Santa Claus ass belly, his fat little Santa Claus belly, because he a fat kind of brother. And, you know, back to his grandson, y'all know he was bitching and moaning about how come the kid ain't get sent home. Well, I'm going to say this. You know, Mike Eric Dyson, maybe the school was like, hey, man, this kid is probably a field nigga instead of a house nigga. Straight real. I mean, like, I'm trying to make a joke, but, you know, if you give license to certain energy in your life, this is the energy conversation. And, you know, I know some of my people, we fuck with that shit. You know, we on some energy shit on my channel. You know, we don't make it a big deal, but we be on that shit. You give license to certain energy in your life, you know, your karma might not come from that particular energy source. Michael Eric Dyson might not meet another old white dude in his life that will get around him talking some shit like, I feel like I'm a house nigga or some shit like that. But y'all see how he met a child that reintroduced that energy into his life. You see? That's karma telling your funky ass that you should have stood up for right when it was time, when Bill Maher was doing his bullshit. Understand? Lest you keep seeing the same fuckery over and over and over again in your life. You see how the energy spin back around? You know what I mean? Let me hit up the chat real quick before I flip another screen. Who over here? I always like to give the chat the shout outs because fuck it, y'all over here. So I want to holler at you. Michael Torres says biscuits and gravy with hot sauce. God damn it. That is a coon preparation of some goddamn biscuits. With the hot sauce. God damn. He a slavey, gravy, thick-headed chump. Yeah, and we hear that. That's from Michael Torres, y'all. My man Zaire says, man, if he said kike, whoo. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, flip that shit on their ass. Run that backwards on their ass and see what the fuck don't happen. Huh? If you got nuts for real, if you want to stand up for something, flip it and see if they crying or not. Huh? Bill Maher, from Nisha LA, she says, Bill Maher is a full Klan member and loves bed wenches. Well, I'll be goddamn. You know, I heard something about that he was courting and seen flouncing around with a few compromised black women. I wonder if that's still his game. I wonder if that's what he's doing. All right. Zaire says now he called himself a house nigga. Yeah. I corrected myself, Zaire. Yeah, I called myself. I'm feel nigga tendencies, man. I mean, Zaire. I'm saying. But get back to my flipping of the squizzings. Let me show y'all something. You know, y'all also might want to know Mike Dyson. You know, they throw him on CNN to be the black airhead nigga. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker they put on the stage to, you know, talk around the truth whenever they bring some suspected white supremacist motherfucker in the studio. Whenever they need a weak Negro to beat up on, use as a punching bag, or some nigga that's gonna talk around them for real shit. That's why they keep making them come through and shit, or whatever. And they had them responding to a poll that was done. This is in 2018 that this occurred. So y'all keep a track of your dates here. But there was a poll that came out saying that Donald Trump is a racist. Well, 50% of America says Donald Trump is racist or whatever. Some poll they did, right? And to that, Dyson was like, well, you know, people should acknowledge that Trump was a racist. The people that didn't say he was a racist, the other 50% or whatever that said he wasn't a racist, they should acknowledge that he is a racist. And he said all this shit about Muslims, and he said all this shit about Latinos, and he said all this shit about women, and this shit about black people, right? Kicking all of that, right? And he had some good points. Except, by this time, this was after the Bill Maher shit, a year later, you're going to see that he siphoned all the fucking gas out of his good points with shit like what he did the year before with Bill Maher. Because if you go through that particular cast and if you go on the CNN site or whatever, look at those comments. White supremacist society, they were bashing him for that show, calling him a race baiter and calling him racist, so forth and so on. You feel me? So his COONED didn't satisfy them. Still, you see what I'm saying? Because understand, white supremacist society, they have a memory of when they can get an easy win off of black people. I'm just kicking a little history to y'all. They have a memory of when they can get an easy win off black society, and once you pop their cherry, and once you pop your cherry to them, rather, I mean, once you pop your cherry to them in that way, right, it becomes like an heirloom. It becomes near and dear to them, right, to be able to depend on your black ass for the easy wins when points of contention come around up against white supremacist narrative and white supremacist figures, etc., 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 right? It's near and dear to their relationship with your black ass to not put up a fight, right? The black people that don't put up a fight, let me get to the chizad again. The black folk who don't put up a fight, they be the ones that they fawning over, the ones that they falling over. You understand? It's like an instant ego boost to white supremacist society to find a coon ass motherfucker. It's like an instant gratification to white supremacist society, the workaday white supremacists, all the motherfuckers. You understand? So they look for that because you got to understand, black society in general, in our current state that we in right now, and in our current esteem for ourselves, if they can get us to negate our own esteem and our own dignity and shit like that. That's a trophy to whiteness. Okay? Just from our history of being greater and being great longer. I mean, this is a jewel I got from the sister Sin at Thought Crimes, S-I-N, not C-Y-N. You know, she's like, you know, black folk, we've been great on this earth longer than we've been fucked up and whack and shit, or going through whack shit, right? We've been great longer. So, just from our history of being greater longer than we've been going through lame shit or whatever, that's a trophy to pull one over on us in modern times. I mean, that's like awarding a trophy to whiteness. You get what I'm saying? And just in general, you know, just to be walking around the world and to find those types of self-deprecating Negroes, that's a sign that, yay, we found one of the conquered Negroes that we conquered. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a trophy Negro in white supremacist society. It's a sign that, you know, that's something you can show off to your fellow white buddies. Like, looky here, I found a conquered Negro, one of the symbols of our conquest. One of the symbols of white conquest and white brainwashing and mental enslavement of black people walking around. That's like a trophy to white people. Understand? And in any white circle, right? Those are the Negroes that they make into the one black friend type shit, right? So, Michael Eric Dyson, you know, white supremacist society has already labeled him based on that one slip up that he made with Bill Maher of allowing white supremacist thought to pervade in that case, right? So with this survey about Trump being a racist white supremacist and what white supremacist society thinks about it, they on some shit like, man, we ain't gotta say Trump is a racist, because yo black ass, Mike Eric Dyson, you think that when we do racist shit, it's cool. So shut up, nigger. You know what I mean? This is what they thinking. See, this is what the flip-flopping, Waverly ass, zip coon ass niggas, you know, like Mike Eric Dyson, like your Stephen A. Smiths, the flip-flopping motherfuckers. This is the shit that they invite on themselves when you give that type of clearance to white supremacist society. Oh, let me check the chat real quick. Somebody talking about, yeah, he like black women, says Zaire. Okay, so yeah, he do like black women. Yeah, that's what we was just talking about. Niche LA say he a coon pincushion. Yeah. You know, the motherfuckers is target practice, man. Fucking targets, man. We got G-Man Jr. back in the spot talking about peace, PDGAF. Yo, what up, G-Man Jr.? 64, good seeing you, brother. Niche just giving out peace. Amani, Dada. Okay, so y'all just talking. Okay. So, white folks. Michael Torres says white folks taking Soul Train awards. Stop honoring them J-Cats. I know about them taking Soul Train awards. That's some old busted ass shit. Yeah, I don't see how the fuck they were able to sneak their ass into that shit. How does that happen? But again, when you got these compromised, willing to lower the bar for white greatness and allow them to be around black folk like they great like us and just walk around us and be around us and strut like they something, motherfucker, for real, you peacock strutting, motherfucker, if you don't get your dumb ass, motherfucker, no. Your ass is Pat Boonin and we motherfucking Little Richard, motherfucker. We motherfucking, you Pat Boonin and we Mike Jackson and Prince, motherfucker. You, what's a white artist that bite off Chris Brown? You know all these white dudes that bite off Chris Brown, it's just white artist after white artist after white artist biting the inflections, biting the scales and the runs of Chris Brown, right? I be in the gym, man, so they torture us with that shit in the gym. Like, if I ever take my headphones out, it's just torture in the gym. But I'm saying, like, you think about all these white dudes that they keep blaring over the airways, And you know Chris Brown is the father of all these little young white dudes. They try to, shave their hair off or let them grow the beard. The white supremacist beard, they let them grow and then, act like they some sort of new star or whatever. Motherfucker, your ass biting off Chris Brown, dog. And you know how we know you biting off Chris Brown? Because when it comes to them dances, you can't bite off Chris Brown dances. Then you know who your father is. Then you know that your white ass get out there and try to fucking break your ankles if you want to, trying to imposter the Chris Brown dances. That'll be your ass. That's how that shit go, right? You watching that shit. You see that shit. Like, get that old goofy ass shit out of here. Timber fake, hell yeah. Bieber, dork motherfucker, you understand? And there's a few other like new faces. I forget some of the names. Was one group Hayden or Hanson or some shit like that? You just hear the intonations that they try to present themselves with as if they coming like that for real. Like, motherfucker, nah, that ain't yo shit. That's Chris Brown. Motherfucker, like, let Chris Brown have his shit. Let him be the G behind that shit. And you do what the fuck you think you finna do. You know what I'm saying? Let his talent speak for itself, and you let your goofy ass shit just don't even whatever you think you can do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you think you can do next to a Chris Brown on the stage, motherfucker, you do that shit. But don't get up there and try to do him on the stage, because then everybody smell it. I mean, we all know these are just white hype jobs and shit. We all see that shit. Even the white people that go to your concerts, they all know it's a white hype job. They just going la 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 la, sing along with you for your 15 minutes, but they know you an imposter, man. So it's like, why even go through that shit? Why even make that be your career? You'll have a career in a white supremacist society where they lower the bar for whiteness and they move the goalpost for white success measurements and white success metrics, where they just have a system of gimmies for y'all, gimme after gimme. Y'all can be somebody, but you ain't shit though, for real. Ain't nobody riding around in the greater world bumping these motherfuckers in the deck. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody I'm just saying. And like I said, man, you try to copy some of them Chris Brown dance steps if you want to, it's gonna be some white boys with some broken ass ankles. They're gonna be snapping their ankles. Them ankles gonna turn into some Tostitos. They're gonna crack up like some Tostitos. You understand? It's like you playing basketball out there, fucking around with Chris Brown, trying to cross a motherfucker, trying to imitate some Chris Brown dance steps. Chris Brown taught him to play basketball. He like a basketball playing motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if some of them basketball court ass moves. You know what I'm saying? Your ass ain't built to play basketball, homie. You white. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna tell you that? Nobody in your office is gonna tell you that. Nobody at your label gonna tell you that. But come on, you white. You know what I mean? Your shit gonna break. Your shit gonna crack. And that's just your life. I mean, and well, what do we do? I mean, so that's that. But yeah, kind of got off on a tangent a little bit, but I'm saying my point, that's all I want y'all to get out of this. When you give white supremacist society clearance to be disrespectful, back to Eric Dyson and his Sambo foolery, you give them that kind of clearance, they're going to do so gratuitously because you leave the fucking floodgate open. And now they have an excuse to do this shit, right? And they'll just point to when you said the shit was okay. Is how they think. White supremacist society is super simple like that. They're like children. They're like children, or some, on my sugar-free shit from yesterday, they're like women, you know what I mean? And not to disparage women, but I'm saying, like, you lay down a line for a woman or a child, and you tell them, look, don't cross that shit. And then if they cross the shit, then it's a consequence gradient. They'll begin to recognize what's up, right? Okay? If you lay down a line and they cross it and then you don't check them, then it's open season. It's open season on crossing that motherfucking line as far as they're concerned with your ass, right? Very simple way of being, what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, come on. So, what is to be said? Eric Dyson, if you don't fight against injustice, publicly, karma is going to revisit that shit on your kids. They're going to That's how the world go. That's how the world spin. And hey, he finding out today. He's sad and he mad about it. But what, nigga? You sad and mad, homie. But shit, you ain't have no nuts, dog. You ain't keep that same energy, homie. Saying, motherfucker don't respect that. But yeah, who else in the comments? I've seen a few names that dropped. Oh, Paraphernalia Palace came back true. Coming true. Paraphernalia Palace, what's up? They need milk. Paraphernalia Palace say they need milk. Okay, y'all just clowning. Y'all just clowning right now. But yeah. Yo, y'all don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to smash that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping. You can check out my Teespring and shit. That link up in that bitch. Let me get it, y'all.